Megan Braun, and I'm going to be talking to you all about my podcast called Badass Women of. And so this podcast first began as my senior project at Cal Poly this past year. And so it was my time was approaching to choose my senior project. I was a communication studies major. There was no way in hell I was going to be writing a research paper. So I decided on a podcast. I'm a very big fan of this medium. I listen to a lot of podcasts. And I really love the idea of being able to create my own content and be creative. And so I decided to call my podcast Badass Women of, and have every episode focus on an individual woman within San Luis Obispo. My show would feature women of all ages, from all different backgrounds, with individuals pursuing passion projects, careers, and ambitious pursuits of all dimensions. And my roommates probably thought I was crazy, but I turned our backyard shed into my recording studio, so that was like a big project. I cleared that out, and I also made sure that every inch of the show, all the help that I received, would be from a local San Luis Obispo woman. So, for example, my introduction and closing music is from another fellow Cal Poly student named Alexi Rorlick, and so she helped me out with that, and every inch of the show has been endless support. Badass Women of would not have been possible if it weren't for the lovely town of San Luis Obispo. This tight-knit community embraced the show, got me into contact with really, really rad local ladies, and gave me the opportunity to talk with individuals I didn't think was possible. When I reached out to the mayor, Heidi Harmon, and asked if she'd be interested in being on the show, I think she responded within like 5 minutes and wrote, yes, 100%. So I was jazzed. And of course, with following a passion project, specifically this one of mine, there were bound to be mistakes along the way. One of my episodes featuring Bettina Swigger, who's here today, we recorded about 45 minutes of content. She left my place, I was excited, I went to my laptop to go start editing, and I realized I didn't record anything. The mic was off, and I was mortified. I think I called my sister and like my best friend. I didn't want to tell anyone, I was so embarrassed. But mistakes like these helped me to grow and learn to be a better podcast host and just a better young adult. And I had to man up and tell Bettina what had happened, and she readily came back over another day, and we recorded once more. I have learned so much from doing this podcast. Each woman I've had on my show, time and time again, has taught me what it means to be a badass woman. They're unapologetically themselves. They set goals and follow through with them. These women are able to ask for help and advice, and in return, they share advice with others about their successes, for example, by being on my show. Episode 3 with Kelly Edward from Bang the Drum Brewery taught me what it's like to work in a predominantly male industry and how she kicked ass regardless. Episode 6 with Jasmine Serpa taught me the ins and outs of being on a roller derby team and the amount of hard work that goes into a sport like that. I didn't know anything about roller derby prior to that. Episode 10 with Brenda and Tina taught me that there's no age limit to switching career paths and following a passion project, like creating a vintage mobile trailer bakery. And fun fact, Brenda and Tina are the first couple that I had on the show, and they were so cool. Like, I've met the most fun, interesting people from doing this podcast. And so my hope was to create an environment where I could highlight all these women's successes, trials, and insights in a way that would be inspiring to all of those listening. And the feedback I received through recording this process fueled my fire. Just as I wanted to support these rad ladies and present their triumphs to the world, I felt listeners tuning in gave me just as much support in return. One woman by the name of Caitlin Burke reached out to me, I think just on Instagram, like early on in my podcast days, and she let me know that she discovered my podcast and was a former SLO woman who lived in Brooklyn, and she'd fallen in love with the show. So as my graduation date approached at Cal Poly this past spring, and my senior project was turned in, I knew that the Badass Women of podcast was not nearly finished. Post-grad, I moved to Santa Cruz for the summer, and now I currently reside in San Francisco, still looking to share stories of the inspirational women that run these cities. Now to wrap up, I want to ask all of you a question I ask every guest who comes onto my show at the very end of our conversation. Badass Women Of is meant to be an empowering podcast. And as a woman, I believe we are very critical of ourselves, dwelling in what we need to improve rather than relishing in our accomplishments. And so with that being said, I want all of you, men and women in the audience, to ask yourself today, what is your favorite thing about yourself? Then internalize it, utilize it, and move forward with your passion projects and future endeavors. Thank you.